Good morning, students. How to run the HTML code? This is a format of HTML code. Doc type HTML opening. In between HTML, there is a head content. In between head opening and head closing. Title, web page. Title is web page title. Closing bracket. Head. There is body. There is headings. H1. Write your first heading. Closing bracket, p paragraph, write your first paragraph, and then body close, and then finally HTML code. If you run this HTML code, you give output as heading, write your first heading, and paragraph, write your first paragraph. Next, what is HTML? What is HTML? What do you mean by HTML? HTML HTML is an acronym which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is used for creating web pages and web applications. Let's see what is meant by Hypertext Markup Language and web page. What do you mean by Hypertext language and web page? Hypertext. What do you mean by hypertext? What do you mean by HTML? HTML is an acronym which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext Markup Language, which is used for creating web pages and web applications. Let's see what is meant by Hypertext Markup Language and web page. Next one. Hypertext simply means text within text. A text has a link within it. Text has a link within it. It is a hypertext. Whenever you click on a link which brings you to a new web page, we have clicked on a hypertext. Hypertext is a way to link two or more web pages. Hypertext means way to link two or more web pages. Hypertext means to link two or more web pages, HTML documents with each other. Hypertext means text within text. Markup language. A markup language is a computer language that is used to apply layout and formatting conventions to a text document, that is structure, style. Markup language makes text more interactive and dynamic. It can turn text into images, tables, links, etc. What do you mean by web pages? Web page is a document. Well, web page is a document which is commonly written in HTML and translated by a web browser. Commonly written in HTML and translated by a web browser. A web page can be identified by entering an URL. Web page can be of static or dynamic type. Web page are two types, static or dynamic. With the help of HTML only, we can create by using HTML, we can create the static web page by HTML. Next. Hence, HTML is a markup language which is used for creating attractive web pages with the help of styling and which looks in nice format on a web browser. An HTML document is made of many HTML tags. HTML document is made up of many HTML tags. Each HTML tag contains different content. Uh, Different tags are HTML tags are there. Let's see a simple example of HTML. DocType HTML, head, title, web page title, title, head, body, in between body, headings and paragraphs are there. Body close, HTML close. Description of HTML example. This is important. Angular bracket, exclamation sign, doctype means it defines the document type or it instructs the browser about the version of HTML. It instructs the browser about the version of HTML. 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 This tag informs the browser that it is an HTML document. HTML informs the browser that it is an HTML document. Text between the HTML tag describe the web document. Text between the HTML tag describe the web document. It is a container for all other elements of HTML except doctype. Head. It should be the first element inside the HTML element which contains the metadata. It contains the metadata information about the document. It must be closed before the body tag opens. Head is closed before the body tag opens. Title tag, as its name suggests, it is used to add title of the HTML page which appears at the top of the browser window. It must be placed inside the head tag. Title tag is placed inside the head tag and should be closed immediately. This is optional. Title tag. Body tag. The text between the body tag describes the body content of the page that is visible to the end user. This tag contains the main content of the HTML document, that is body tag. Next. Heading tag. H1. The text between H1 tag describes the first level heading of the web page. Paragraph tag. Text between the paragraph describes the paragraph of the web page. Next point is a brief history of HTML. In the late 1980s, a physicist, Tim Berners-Lee, who was a contractor at the CERN, proposed a system of CERN researchers. In 1989, he wrote a memo proposing an internet-based hypertext system. Tim Berners-Lee is known as the father of HTML. The first available description of HTML was a document called HTML tags proposed by Tim in late 1991. The latest version of HTML is HTML5, which we'll learn later in this tutorial. HTML versions. Since the time HTML was invented, there are lots of HTML versions in the market. The brief introduction about the HTML version is given below. HTML 1.0, the first version of HTML was 1.0, which was the bare bones version of HTML language, and it was released in 1991. HTML 2.0, this was the next version which was released in 1995, and it was standard language version of website design. HTML 2.0 was able to support extra features such as form-based file upload, form elements such as text box, option button, etc. HTML 3.2. HTML 3.2 version was published by W3C in early 1997. This version was capable of creating tables and providing support for extra options to form elements. It can also support a web page with complex mathematical equations. It became an official standard for any browser till January 1997. Today, it is practically supported by most of the browsers. HTML 4.01. HTML 4.01 version was released on December 1999, and it is a very stable version of HTML language. This version is the current official standard, and it provides added support for style sheets, CSS, and scripting ability for various multimedia elements. Next version, HTML5 is the nearest version of hypertext markup language. The first draft of this version was announced in January 2008. There are two major organizations. One is W3C, World Wide Web Consortium, and another one is WHTWG, Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group, which are involved in development of HTML5, W3C and WHTWG version, and still it is under development. Features of HTML are: it is very easy, simple language, it can be easily understood and modified. It is very easy to make an effective presentation with HTML because it has lot of formatting tags. It is a markup language, so it provides a flexible way to design web pages along with the text. It facilitates the programmers to add a link on the web pages by HTML anchor tag, so it enhances the interest of browsing the user. It is a platform independent because it can be displayed on any platform like Windows, Linux, Macintosh, etc. It facilitates the programming to add graphics, video, sound to the web pages, which makes it more attractive and interactive. HTML is a case-sensitive language, which means we can use tags either in lowercase or uppercase. Thank you.